My name is Robert Pittman. I go by Rob. My childhood friends and family called me Robbie. I'm 55 years old, and I'm currently just retired from Muskogee Public Schools. Was a dean of students there. Was in the district for 21 years. Was in education 31 years. Well, I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old with protein in my urine, and then progressively got worse. And then I had to have a transplant in 2010 by a good friend named John Ziegler, who you guys will meet. He called up and said, "I'll give you my kidney," and I put him off for years. And one day I prayed and said it was time, and he came in and did the deal, and then had the kidney for 11 years, and then I got COVID in 2021. During the time I had COVID, it shut down my kidney to where it wasn't working, and I, got on dialysis. I'm in dialysis over at St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm currently on the transplant list at St. John's, so that's who we'd be going through on it for the transplant and everything. Dr. Stephen Miller is the guy that would be doing the kidney operations and stuff like that. I am on the waiting list. I've been on there for 2 years. I'm fixing to do my third section of tests you have to do every year. So actually doing for the third year, coming up in June, and it consists of heart tests, blood tests, stuff like that. Make sure I'm still viable. I promise I'm still viable. I am on dialysis. I do dialysis at St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do dialysis from 5:45 in the morning till about 10 o'clock or so, 4 hours a session. So I sit in the chair for 4 hours and collect my thoughts. First off, my disease that I contracted, well, I don't know how I got it, nobody does, there's no rhyme or reason for it. It was FSGS, focal segmental glomerular sclerosis, which is a kidney disease of your filtration system, and it progressively got worse, like I said, and that's when John stepped up, and then I had that kidney was going great and everything, and then COVID came around, and fought off the first round. I got that Delta variant, which was pretty bad, and I was in the hospital 19 days. They told me they were going to put me on a ventilator, and I told them no, they're not. And they gave me some of those micro antibiotic stuff or whatever it was. They had one dose of it left in the hospital, and I got it. And luckily, I started getting better that evening, and I didn't have to go on the ventilator, because that probably would have been all that she wrote. But it did take my kidney, and then when I was in there, they put a catheter in my heart so I could do dialysis, and then I went and finally, about 3 months later, got a fistula put in my arm. You can't really see it. I got a new kind they do with magnets and what have you, so it's not the old bulgy kind. Everything, thank goodness. So. Well, you have to go in. You got to do a bunch of rigorous tests. Like I said, heart tests to be put on the transplant list. You got to do a bunch of tests, and by way of going to the hospital and giving up a couple days to do multiple tests, heart, EKG, all kinds of blood tests, and stress tests. Anything to do with your heart and what have you, and like a blood test for your GFR, and which GFR is how well your kidneys function. And right now my GFR is 5, so I have no kidney function. I'm at the point where I'm not producing a lot of urine and everything, so I'm living on dialysis right now. But as far as the testing goes, the person that would maybe want to donate and everything would you have to contact the hospital yourself, St. John's kidney transplant, and then you got to ask to be tested. The initial, I'm O positive blood, so I have to have somebody that has O blood. I could give to anybody. O's the universal donor, but I can't have anybody give me a kidney that doesn't have O blood. It doesn't have to be O positive, but better off O positive. But yeah, it just consists of them contacting St. John and asking and give them my name that you want it to be tested to donate. See if you can be maybe a donor. They'll ask you a few questions. The first question they'll ask is, what type of blood are you? They'll ask your height, weight, and of course, if you're male or female, and what have you. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. So, but there is an age requirement at St. John's. I'm thinking it's 62, maybe 61. That 62 or 3, maybe. I'm not sure. They'll tell you if you're too old or not. So they do a great job of their communication. Well, after I got the life before I was on dialysis consisted of normalcy, consisted of had a vibrant lifestyle, lake, grandkids, energy, stuff a lot of I took for granted before and everything. I was on dialysis, which was peritoneal dialysis, before my first kidney transplant. But we tried peritoneal this time just a couple months ago, and it didn't work. So I'm on the hemodialysis and everything. Actually, it's crazy. I tried hemodialysis at home and got sepsis, and was in the hospital 9 days. That got me too. So I'm sticking to the hemodialysis at St. Francis.